the fight is boring. Like that's not the fans expecting to us. I mean, as a fighter, if I'm a fan, of course I want to see a good fight, like changing fight, not a passion show.
Manny Pacquiao didn't hold back when talking about Floyd Mayweather. He said he actually feels sorry for Floyd, believing that money is the only thing driving him now. According to Pacquiao, Mayweather's comeback fights aren't about legacy or love for the sport. They're just about cashing in on exhibitions. Pacquiao even pointed to a possible fight with Terence Crawford, saying it wouldn't be about competition at all, but simply greed. In his view, this takes away the true spirit of boxing, turning it from a battle between fighters into more of a business show, where boxers walk in like they're on a runway instead of stepping in as real warriors.
Now, in the beginning of this conversation, you say, I don't like boastful people. How was it like fighting Mayweather then? Did he get on your nerves? Because I feel like he's a little bit more boastful than the people you might be wanting to hang out with.
Yeah, he's boastful. I think his God is the material things, money, everything like that. I'm pity with him because I want to share the word of God in him if he believe God.
Yeah. I've heard he's a generous man. I think he's done good things. I think, he kind of reminds me of like a lot of people are like this, by the way, including myself. I'm not just saying him. I'm including myself. The man who goes up to Jesus and says, what should I do to get it to heaven? He says, sell all your belongings. And he walked away crying because he couldn't sell his belongings.
Exactly.
The news that Floyd Mayweather and Mike Tyson will fight in 2026 has sent shockwaves through boxing. But experts were quick to point out this isn't about two greats meeting at their best. It's more about putting on a money-making show. Reports suggest the fight is meant to be a tune-up for Mayweather before a possible showdown with Terence Crawford later that same year. Both events are seen as big paydays, with massive pay-per-view sales expected. Even so, Tyson's legendary name and Mayweather's global brand guarantee that this matchup will grab worldwide attention, no matter how little real sporting value it carries.
Broadcast for Jake and Tyson and some people like the likes of Carl Froch viewed that as an endorsement. Like, look, man, I'm just working. It's a big opportunity to be on Netflix. I didn't put the fight together. I'm not paying these guys. So, let's chill out. But all right, I'm not going to poo-poo this. I just don't know what CSI is. And the way it was presented made me think that there was like a secondary press release to come, that they'll be involved in like some sort of like virtual boxing thing. Like it just didn't seem real. You know why it didn't seem real? I'll tell you why. There's no date attached to it. There's no venue attached to it. Forget rules, exhibition, not exhibition, weight. I mean, here's a guy who fought a heavyweight forget all that. These things can get figured out, the fine details. The fact that it was announced, why announce something with no date or location attached to it? What's the point? Unless you're just trying to get people excited and trying to get them, trying to get some investors or something like that.
But maybe also testing the waters. If the response is overwhelmingly positive, maybe you go, okay, we move forward. If the response is muted or negative, maybe you go, okay, we're not going to actually do this. You lob it out there as a way to poll the public, and then make an adjustment.
So you don't think it happens?
I do not think it happens. I just don't think there will be enough interest. I know they have huge name value. There's zero, after the last performance by Mike Tyson against Jake Paul, I don't think there's going to be interest in seeing Mike Tyson do that again.
Terence Crawford has always spoken with respect about Manny Pacquiao. He says Pacquiao's career is truly one of a kind in boxing history. The Filipino legend won world titles in several weight divisions, often beating much bigger opponents when the odds were stacked against him. According to Crawford, what Pacquiao accomplished wasn't just historic, it's something almost no one could ever repeat. He believes Manny's greatness came in a unique era where he took on challenges other fighters wouldn't even dare to face.
Man, a generational, talented fighter. Like, he's accomplished what no other fighter is ever going to accomplish.
Talk of a potential fight between Terence Crawford and David Benavidez has been gaining steam among fans. Many see Benavidez as one of the most dangerous fighters in boxing today, with his size, youth, and relentless style making him a serious challenge. Supporters believe this matchup would push Crawford further than any opponent he's faced before. For now, nothing has been officially confirmed, so the matchup remains just speculation. Still, The buzz around it shows how eager fans are to see real, high-stakes fights, not just exhibitions or celebrity matchups.
World, not me, but shocked the world. This past Saturday, Mexican Independence Day weekend, what he took on and defeated another first ballot Hall of Famer, but he essentially jumped up 3 weight classes, technically 2, from 154 to 168, but only had 1 fight at 154 last August against Israel Majimov. Terence Crawford defeated Saul Canelo Alvarez, who is a 4-division champion, 2-time undisputed super middleweight, and the reigning, at the time, super middleweight world champion, undisputed world champion. And Terence Crawford beat him handily and convincingly. And because he beat him so easily, now the 63 win, 3 loss, 2 draw, 39 win by way of knockout, biggest threat has been now imposed on Terence Bud Crawford. And that's the Mexican Ecuadorian monster, David Benavidez, who is a 2-division undefeated world champion, is the 2-time WBC super middleweight and reigning WBC light heavyweight, 175-pound champion, who has a record of 30 wins, no loss, no draw, 24 wins by way of knockout. He stands 6'2" with a 75-inch arm. This is a fight that David Benavidez has been calling for Canelo Alvarez when he was at 168, and Canelo Alvarez strategically maneuvered around him. But Canelo Alvarez is 5'7" with a 70-inch arm reach, started his career at 147 pounds, made his real name at 154 pounds. He's not a big guy, okay? And styles make fights. Benavidez is 6'2" with a 75-inch arm reach. His last fight at 168 against Demetrius Andrade, he rehydrated to 193. So he's a big guy. Canelo Alvarez probably rehydrate to 182, maybe 185 max, right? He's not a big guy, right?
Trainer Greg Hackett was full of praise when talking about Terence Crawford's stunning win over Canelo Alvarez. He described Canelo as the shark of boxing, a fighter who ruled the sport with power and skill for years. For Hackett, the fact that Crawford not only fought Canelo but dominated him signals a major shift at the very top of boxing. Beating the man once seen as unbeatable now makes Crawford the new force everyone else must fear. Hackett's comments also raise a bigger question. If Crawford was able to handle the toughest fighter of his era, then who's left that can truly challenge him? Fans are now debating whether Crawford will keep fighting to prove more or walk away at the height of his dominance.
Because you got to remember, Canelo is the guy right now in the sport that's supposed to be the man, you know, big bad wolf. You beat him, you the wolf. Now it's like, you know what I mean? Like, all right, who else I'm going to fight? You beat the shark, you beat the wolf. Right. Damn. Like, you know what I mean? Ain't no more ops out there. It's ops out there, but who gonna make them really want to get up? That's the
shit got to make sense. That's like you said, you be the shark and then you be the wolf.
Yeah.
But there's the monster.
Yeah, there is, but that's like a real monster.
Bro, that's to me, it don't make sense. But that's
really
what
a monster.
Yo, is that proof? All right, we got the legendary Pape in the building. Legend.
Sure, man.
But what makes sense? Like, what makes the most sense? I know you said get a line of suits, Brooks Brothers.
Yeah, get a line of suits. Get a line of suits, get your money, man. Go ahead and get the easy money, man. You ain't got to sweat no more.
What's up, boy?
Not saying you ain't got to work, you ain't got to sweat.
What's happening?
He's paved a career where he could sit down at a table and get this money. He could come out with a Terence Crawford series now, just whatever, doing whatever he like to do. People gonna watch it. Nobody, the fighting part, people don't understand what it's like to be a fighter. A lot of times fighters really don't be interested in certain fights. It's cause when a guy see himself up here, and then he's fighting a guy down here, it don't interest him. So therefore, when he train, he not gonna really train. He gonna train, but he not gonna train. He not gonna listen. He gonna feel like his coach taking it too serious, and he's like, man, this ain't even that. But your coach like, listen, you can get fucked up. I'm telling you. You don't want to listen. Then you go in there and fight that guy. Then you get. I mean, I seen it happen.